Anna Rodney is the owner and founder of Chicago Family Doulas and Birth and Baby University. Chicago Family Doulas provides trusted expert support through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. They offer in-person and virtual classes, birth doulas, and postpartum doulas. They provide live-in newborn care as well as daytime and overnight newborn care and support. Families feel cared for and are never alone on their journey. Birth and Baby University offers fully online evidence-based classes that prepare you for your childbirth, baby care, breastfeeding, and beyond, all at your own pace. Feel confident, supported, and empowered every step of the way. Trusted by thousands of families. Connect with them today at hello@chicagofamilydoulas.com and get the expert support you deserve. Welcome to the Mami Collective. I'm Paulina Roe, radio host, TV contributor, writer, and mom of one. This is where ambitious moms come to keep their identity intact while navigating motherhood. Here we talk about the real stuff: career, money, relationships, identity, and everything that gets messy in between. You won't find sugarcoating or cliches. What you will find are unfiltered conversations, real resources, and proof that you don't have to lose yourself to be a good mom. The Mami Collective is here to remind you can be ambitious, you can take up space, and you can thrive in motherhood and in everything else that makes you, you. Before we get into the episode, make sure you're following the Mami Collective on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and share this podcast with a mommy in your life who needs a little inspiration or just a reminder that she's killing it. Also, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter and leave us a review so we can keep showing up and reach every ambitious mom out there doing big things. Let's get into it. Hello. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here for a while, welcome back. I've been sitting with this episode for a minute because Mami Collective has just grown so much, and I've grown so much too. And it feels like the right time to kind of pause and reintroduce myself, but not like in a highlight reel way, but just more in the other real way. So today's episode is so simple. It's about who I am, why this space exists, and what we built together, and obviously where we're kind of going next. So more than anything, it's about truth that I wish someone had also told me earlier, and that is that you don't have to disappear to be a good mom. And I'll say it again, you don't have to disappear to be a good mom. So for those who don't know, my name is Paulina Roe. I'm a mom of one daughter who is almost 2 years old. I'm a media personality. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a builder of rooms, relationships, and a lot of conversations that don't usually happen out loud. But if you know me, I am a loudmouth broad, and none of that phases me. So before I became a mom, I was somebody with a lot of momentum, right? Ambition, momentum. I was never in the house. I'm going to be so honest. I was never in the house, always doing something. And that's just the life I lived, the life I loved. And, career, identity, drive, a sense of self that felt really clear. And then when I was becoming a mom, I became really afraid, and afraid for a lot of reasons. But one of them was that I would just lose myself. I would lose my identity. I would lose my friends. I would lose my business. I would lose my drive. I just was really afraid because I know when I'm the best version of myself, everybody gets that. And I just wanted my baby to always have the best version of me. No one really explicitly said it. Like, people don't really say things, but the messaging around it is very loud and clear. And typically it's tone it down, be grateful, focus on the baby, you'll get back to yourself later. And that shit was not music to my ears, okay? My other question was, what if later just never comes? What if later is just another word for disappearing? And I hate to say it, but I'm a very honest kind of chick. And I've seen people lose themselves to motherhood. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way or any kind of way. I'm just saying that I've seen people dim their light, women dim their light because they were not consumed in motherhood, but they weren't allowing themselves to be more. And I want to be clear about one thing. Motherhood is beautiful and amazing, and some moms, some women want to just be in the season of motherhood. That's all they want. They want nothing else. And that is completely okay. And I'm probably not talking to you if that's the case. I want every woman to do what's best for her baby, her family, period. I want to be so clear. My issue was that I knew what I was capable of, and I also know who I am at the core and what brings me happiness and what makes me a better person, friend, sister, mother, all of that. And I didn't want to be a mom who resented my ambition, right? Or a mom who felt guilty for loving motherhood, but also wanting more. I realized pretty quickly too that if I was feeling this, I'm sure that other moms and women were feeling it too. And the Mami Collective was born, but not as a brand. It was born as a need. And I need a space where like ambition wasn't treated like it was a bad thing or a flaw. Motherhood wasn't the end of my story. Honestly, it was just the beginning. And I wanted it to be where women could talk about money, identity, career pivots, insecurity, motherhood, success, burnout, desire, growth, all of that without shrinking. And this community exists for women who refuse to choose between who they were and who they're becoming. Because let's be clear too, motherhood does change you. It does. And women who love their kids deeply but don't want to disappear quietly into the background of their own lives, I feel like I was speaking to them. I'm speaking to the women who want both, right? Because both is absolutely allowed, especially here.
Pinch is a concierge med spa that brings treatments like Botox, chemical peels, and microneedling straight to your door because self-care should work around your life, not the other way around. Their board-certified nurse practitioners deliver medical-grade results, minus the med spa waiting room. Book solo or with friends, they call that a pinch party. Whether it's just you or a whole crew, it's expert care delivered your way. Visit bookpinched.com now.
So when I look back at what I've accomplished and what we've done, and honestly, it all just humbles me, okay? We've built a podcast, the one you're listening to, that centers honest conversations about motherhood, ambition, identity. We've created a community that shows up, DMs, in actual rooms, tables, you name it, you guys are there. Live events and dinners where women meet collaborators, not competition. Love that for us. A growing directory spotlighting women-owned and mom-owned businesses. And if you're also in my directory, you know what kind of wins you've gotten out of that, especially with press opportunities, growing your brand, growing your business, being on TV, getting featured in Yahoo, all of that. It's incredible. Grants, resources. We've given out our very first grant in September of 2025. Real conversations about money and power. Relationships with brands that actually respect women and our influence. Like, it's amazing. But if you want to know what I'm most proud of, the messages that I get from you guys, the messages that say, I didn't know that I was allowed to want more. I finally feel seen. Thank you for creating these spaces for us. Thank you for being a voice. And the ones telling me that they stopped apologizing for their ambition. They stopped playing small. That's the work. That's what I love to see. So I want to say this one more time so clearly. You do not owe anyone your disappearance. Not your career, not your voice, not your creativity, your financial goals, not your identity. Motherhood doesn't mean you become smaller. It actually means you become more precise, more intentional, more proactive of your time. And if you're a mom, you already know that you don't even got a lot of time. So more aware of what actually matters. I think that is so important. And your ambition is not selfish. I want to be so clear about that. You know, backstory, when I was 9 months pregnant, I was told by someone who is a friend, so that was very strange, I wish that I was more selfish like you. Mind you, I'm 9 months pregnant, so I'm like, bitch, what? I'm over here so confused. Like, was that a compliment? Was that an insult? I'm not really sure. However, I think it was supposed to be a form of insult because I think this person resented not herself, maybe not her partner, but there was something in her that felt unfulfilled. And you can just spot an unfulfilled person from a mile away. Doesn't matter where you are, you can just spot that person. And it really bothered me and it really made me feel some type of way. But then I was like, but wait, am I selfish? Because I actually think my kid is thriving. I mean, she wasn't born yet, but now she's almost 2. She's thriving. She's so smart. She's got an amazing village that loves her, from family to her amazing babysitters, nanny, little friends that she meets at her little places. I mean, the girl is thriving.
Red Barrel has always been a place where families come together, and that tradition continues under the care of brothers Luis and Carlos Vasquez. Once a beloved neighborhood landmark, the restaurant was brought back to life when the brothers purchased and restored it in 2017, determined to preserve its legacy for the community. Drawing from their own journey, starting out in Chicago with humble beginnings and building a successful construction company, they poured the same dedication into creating a restaurant that feels like home. Today, Red Barrel offers a warm, family-oriented atmosphere, serving a menu that blends Italian, American, and Mexican flavors while giving neighbors a place to celebrate, connect, and make lasting memories. Be sure to check them out in the Archer Heights neighborhood.
So with that being said, I wanted to let everyone know that a fulfilled life is not a failure of motherhood. It's actually one of the greatest gifts, and it's real nice over here. I'm not going to lie. So for those wondering where we're going next, well, the Mami Collective is entering a new chapter, and it's more intentional programming. We're creating more curated rooms, more resources that really kind of just move the needle, and not just for content that fills your feed, but we're building deeper community experiences, more opportunities, right, for connection, collaboration. We've already done one of our mommy dinners a couple of last week, I think, technically, since this airs, and it was everything you would ever think it is. So we're doing events, conversations that feel expansive, and a platform that respects your intelligence, your time, your goals. I want to make sure that this is extremely intentional, because if you invest any time into the Mami Collective, whether it's podcasts, whether it's our social media, right, our events in person, whatever it is, like, I want you to understand that I'm here intentionally to support you. And this isn't about doing more for the sake of just doing more. It's actually about doing what actually supports moms and women who are building real lives. So whether this is your first episode or you're like, 35th, here's my invitation to you. Stop waiting for permission. Stop minimizing what you want. Stop pretending you don't care. That's my biggest one. I see so many of you just, trying to overcompensate or just justify it, but it's stop pretending you do care, and it's okay. Like, we're all in this together, girl. So you're allowed to be a devoted mother and a woman with ambition. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to take up space, and you don't have to do this alone. And I say that all the time, because this community exists because you do not have to disappear to belong. So if this episode resonated, share it with a woman who needs to hear it. I kept it short and sweet just for you guys. If you're new here, welcome. Literally, you're in the right place, and I'm so excited to meet you, whether it's in my DMs, it's in person. Like, I'm very excited to meet you. And if you've been here from the beginning, thank you for helping build something that truly actually matters. So I'll see you in the next episode. Love you. Mean it.
Vacation with Melissa is your full-service travel agency specializing in all-inclusive resorts and destination events. They create seamless, stress-free vacations for families, couples, and groups, handling every detail so you can simply enjoy. Vacation with Melissa also offers education programs and career opportunities in the travel industry, helping others turn their passion for travel into a rewarding career. Whether you're ready to book your dream getaway or start your journey as a travel professional, they're here to help every step of the way. Visit vacationwithmelissa.com or find them on Instagram at vacationwithmelissa LLC.